Hello, this is Eric Escoto. This is my identification. This is my audience. This is my speech. From the Golden Rule, freedom of speech, human rights, Christmas, the American dream, what have I told you that all of these concepts derive from one single source? Wouldn't it be our responsibility, or at least curiosity, to become acquainted with this source? When I was 12 years old, I began to do just that. I picked up a Bible and became acquainted with it. Now that I'm an English literature major, I have found its quotations, references, and themes strewn around nearly every book that I have read. This single source is the Bible. The Bible is the most influential book in all of civilization, in all of history. Its influence does not seem to be going anywhere, and its influence seems to be projecting dominantly into the future. Today I will speak about the Bible's global status as the best-selling book of all time. Secondly, I will speak about its influence in civilization, specifically in science, politics, and art. And thirdly, I will talk about its status going into the future and its dominance. The Bible is the best-selling book of all time. Not only that, it is the best-selling book of the year every year. This has been the case since the Gutenberg press in 1454. Nearly 100 million Bibles are given away, bought, or sold each year. 5 to 7 billion copies of the Bible have been printed since the Gutenberg printing press. It is also a Guinness World Record of the most popular book of all time. Christianity, the number one religion derived from the Bible, has over 2 billion adherents. That's 465 million adherents more than the second biggest religion of all time in Islam. Time magazine, not too long ago, created an AI-generated algorithm of the 100 most significant personages of all time. Jesus Christ, the protagonist of the Bible, came out as number one. Puritans, the largest group of settlers to settle in America, brought with them the Geneva Bible. With it, they founded the U.S. Constitution with its precepts, ideas, and concepts. America later on became the number one nation in all of the world, and English, the most popular language of the Bible, became the number one language of the world. Now I will speak about the influence the Bible has had on politics. In Europe, the Pope had a regal reign over the kings of Europe. If they did not adhere to the Catholic Church precepts, regulations, and desires, the Pope had the power to depose of them. The Bible has had massive influence with its ethics rooted in the U.S. Constitution. Nearly every U.S. president has identified as a Christian. Karl Marx, the father of communism, socialism, and its branches, who also wrote the Communist Manifesto, in which its influences are undeniably Christian, such ideas as equality, heaven on earth, liberty for all, fairness. In science, the Bible's influence is also undeniable. Such figures as Copernicus, Isaac Newton, Galileo Galilei, they were all identified as Christian. There was a study done of 100 years of Nobel Prize winners. Over 65% of Nobel Prize winners during this 100 years, from 1900 to 2000, identified as Christians. Roger Bacon, the father and inventor of the scientific method, a method that we still use to this day in science, was a Franciscan friar. The Bible's influence on art is also undeniable, and you can walk into any museum today and look left or right, or anywhere you look, you will see depictions of characters in the Bible, themes in the Bible. Some of the most famous artworks in the world are Christian-derived or Christian-influenced. The Mona Lisa is the most popular painting in all of time by Leonardo da Vinci. There was a trend at that time to depict the Virgin Mary. And Leonardo da Vinci's version of this was the Mona Lisa. At that time, it was seen as the ideal of womanhood. Such artworks as the creation of Adam, you would see God pointing his finger, touching Adam's finger. Other artworks like the Last Supper, La Madonna della Pietà, or Michelangelo's David are all themes and scenes from the Bible. Now I will speak about the decline Christianity has had in America. The American Bible Society has denoted the lack of readership, the decline of readership of the Bible in America. If the trends hold the way that they are, lower than 50% of the population in America will identify as Christian by the year 2070. Yet according to the Pew Research, this doesn't change globally. Over 100 years, Christians have remained the same globally, identifying 100 years ago 35% to now 32% identify as Christians. So it hasn't touched the global popularity of Christianity. Christianity is also on the rise with high-profile individuals, intellectuals such as Russell Brand, psychoanalyst Jordan Peterson, neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, MIT professor Rosalind Pickard, actors such as Shia LaBeouf, Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington. It's having somewhat, if you can call it, like a mainstream revival. Today, I have spoken about the Bible's popularity throughout history, its bestseller status. Secondly, I spoke about its influence on modern civilization, specifically in politics, art, and science. Thirdly, I have touched upon the data and its future status going forward, and its dominance in civilization. Knowing all these things about the Bible, its facts, and its influence in our lives, it is not a text that we should casually dismiss or neglect to read or become familiar with. As the Greek Delphic oracle stated, as its primary status of life, its primary goal was to know thyself, become acquainted with oneself. As Westerners, this means to become acquainted with the Bible. Thank you.